again, and welcome back to the Roma Forum podcast. This is episode number 8 of the new season. I know it's been a little bit since we last recorded. You know, some of us are new dads, some of us are new husbands, some of us are just living life to the fullest. Hey, Christian. Anthony isn't joining us this evening, but he will be joining us again on future podcasts. Just as we did last year, we'll be kind of just rehashing the week's match and then the upcoming match, and then kind of just giving our tidbits and our fan kind of, how we view things. I will repeat, just as last year, and nothing has changed this year, that we don't really have any insider information. We don't really know anybody in the Roma circle. We're just a bunch of fans, kind of giving our thoughts, and hopefully letting the viewer enjoy what we have to say. So, with that, it has been a very exciting summer in terms of Roma. Gasperini is now our manager. We have won the first 2 matches, and we're flying high, it seems like, at this point in time. Um, how would you grade the off season / the start of the season?
Oh, I think we're Scudetto favorites winning the first 2 games. No,
Hot take.
no, the off season was good. I mean, I wouldn't say it was the best, but I wouldn't say that it was terrible. I think that we made some, pretty fundamental signings in terms of where we needed certain gaps to be filled. Um, but yeah, like we're approaching week 3 of City A, so I don't want to get into too much of the summer since we're past that point. But speaking of the first 2 games of the season under Gasperini, obviously we're off of 2 wins, so those provincial points are obviously, in my opinion, huge because Roma's tended to struggle against smaller clubs, as we touch on every episode. So I know it's only week 2 or heading into week 3, but we're coming off of 2 wins against. Well, first of all, Bologna has. I don't even think we've beaten in the last 2 seasons, or have beaten them both fixtures. So to a win against Bologna at home is huge because I consider them definitely a top team at this point in time over the last couple seasons. And yeah, they definitely are not an easy opponent. So that was a big win. Um, Pisa, I mean, I don't want to say I assumed that we were going to win because that's never the case with the small clubs, but we pulled it off, which is huge. And Matthias Sule, that guy's been outstanding so far. Again, I know it's early, but pretty impressed with his output, and I don't think anyone could disagree there.
Well, I will say with Sule, it's he's incredible because he literally goes from being straight ass to like phenomenal in the
Yeah.
span of 5 minutes. And it just kind of shows the quality that he has, which, you know, he quickly makes you eat your own words. So you learn not to say anything bad about him because it
hmm
could change on a dime.
Yeah, and he's younger too, so he's still trying
Yeah.
to prove himself, right? He doesn't really have that ego yet where he uh he's kind of got that mentality where he knows he's better than others, but he plays with heart. He's there to prove a point, which he's doing so far, and we can only hope that he continues his path. So yeah, I mean, I'm happy with what he's doing for us, and let's just hope this form continues throughout the remainder of this half of the season and the rest.
Yeah. I mean, I think I'm also excited that, well, hopefully, as the season progresses, I won't have to listen to you bitch and complain about, uh, well, if we had just gotten the 3 points at,
It's
in
true though. It's true.
August.
It's
It is
true.
true. So it's a refreshing start to the season. Considering the last few years, it's been, just pain and suffering. Um, and there's just a different. It seems like a different aura with the team. Um, and that all starts at the top with the manager, I guess, from the owners. But manager, I'm gonna go. But they also took it, I think, it seriously in having two Italians in the management structure, which is
Absolutely.
is helpful.
Absolutely.
Some people thought that Masada was asleep at the wheel in the off season at the end there. I don't know. He's probably hamstrung by financial fair play bullshit,
Yeah.
as we're hearing. But
Yeah, currently we're hearing a lot about that FFP regulations, those allegations coming out. So there's probably a lot of things that goes on behind closed doors that we obviously don't know, as well as many other journalists that just want to put out articles and say certain things. But whatever, we're here now. We're approaching week 3 against Torino this upcoming Sunday. Um, I guess just to get into that, I mean, they're coming off a loss and a draw. They I know it's only week 3 still, but I don't see why we can't pull off a win against them, especially because we're at home. I know it's the early game too, so it's noon their time, but I don't see why we can't pull off 3 points and actually score a few goals this time. I know we've only scored 2 goals so far this season, but yeah, hopefully we can score at least 2 or 3. But it'd be nice to see like Ferguson get one in, maybe depending on what's going on with the starting lineup. Yeah, I don't know.
I'm
Yeah,
excited not to rely on the Ukrainian
yeah,
pylon this
yeah,
year,
hundred
and
percent.
Ferguson is looking to be like a nice little find. Steep price, but I think if he progresses the way he's been playing, I know he doesn't have any goals yet, but I think the talent is there, and he fits really nicely into Gasperini's style of play.
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully I don't eat my words, but I don't think I live in a world that Roma doesn't destroy Torino. Um,
Yeah.
Now, I probably will end up eating my words just on because I said it, but um,
Well, head to head, I mean, they've won the last 18, and Torino's won 4.
yeah.
Just based on the stats here, but again, I know I don't want to jinx them. I don't want to assume, but I don't see where we should be stressing too
I
much
mean,
over it. But
Torino is in terrible form.
that's what I mean. So I don't
It's
know. It just like I said, these points are fundamental against these little clubs, and I know I'm just being really repetitive by saying it's still early. It's only week 3, but we just came off yet another season where we just missed out on what was either Champions League or Europa by a couple points that were dropped at this point in the season at the start of last year. So I don't even care whether it's 1-0, whether it's 9-0, whether we win 1-0 on an own goal. Like Anthony always says, 3 points is 3 points, and that's all that matters. And that's all we can really hope for without having too much high of expectations. But it
for
seems that the
sure.
players are really respectful of Gasperini, which is good. I mean, he's obviously no easy coach. He's not a rollover, and you definitely need to prove yourself under him at Trigore if you want to earn that starting spot. It's interesting because what's today, the 11th of September, and it was like yesterday that there was these reports out saying that he's all impressed with Lorenzo Pellegrini. So let's just see what happens there, right?
It was almost like you were reading my mind there.
Yeah.
The question I was going to ask you is how you're feeling about that.
Well, I've always been a Pellegrini supporter, obviously, like most of us, but it was definitely difficult to kind of be by his side in the last season or so when he just wasn't producing and wasn't living up to his full expectations, given his paycheck, right? How many times has he been linked with an exit in the past? How many months now? And all these rumors, right? But I don't know. It's coming out that he's impressing. Mr. Gasperini. So maybe we see him this weekend. I truly don't know, Luca, but I'm obviously in hopes that he turns the page, turns things around for himself, and obviously stays in Rome. Uh, yeah, We've said it for the last 2 years. Hopefully we can see him find his footing that he had a couple of years ago. So I don't know. What am I to say that maybe this is a new chapter? I feel like we've said it a couple times, but I don't know. Gasperini is a very different coach compared to the last few we've had, considering we have a new coach every year at uh, at Roma. So let's just see, right? He doesn't take any shit. So if you want to walk on the pitch, you'll have your spot on the bench.
Yeah, I mean, as soon as I saw the news, I was basically like, I mean, my response quite literally was, "Here we go again." I mean,
Yeah,
it's just he's like a parasite that you just cannot get rid of. And when you think it's getting better, it just comes
I
back
yeah,
again. So it's challenging. I I hope you know I won't root against him, and I think
definitely not rooting
if
against
you
him. One thing that I think that may the one thing that I find that may be different this year compared to last is he may not have a huge weight on his shoulders anymore since he's been stripped of that captaincy,
Mhm.
right? I mean, I don't really know exactly at this point in time who the official captain was. At the start of the season, it was El Shaarawy. Then, what was it last week? They were saying that now it's Cristante. But
He's another one.
before this all, it was Mancini whenever
Yeah,
Pellegrini was on the pitch. So I really can't agree to say that there's an official captain, but it's definitely not Pellegrini anymore at this point in time. So maybe that weight of the armband not being on him is a bit of a plus for him. You know, he can just kind of
yeah.
focus on himself instead of, being that guy to refer to or that reference point that he once was. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe it is just a turning point, like we've always said, but it's only different now because he's not our capitano on the pitch. So we can only see. He hasn't played yet this season, so we can only see what he puts out.
Yep. Um, Time will truly tell. I hope uh, we're all wrong, but
Mhm.
I feel like we're not going to be wrong. And frankly, I don't know that we need him. Um,
Yeah.
I
If
think
that's the case, though, if that is the case, if we find ourselves that we don't need him and he for whatever reason doesn't seem to find his footing by November, even
he's got to be
given
gone.
assuming he plays consecutive games at least or consistently, if he can't prove it, he's got to be gone, sold in January, has
Yeah,
to, or else we let him walk in a free. And
yeah,
obviously, uh, our management's not dumb enough to let that happen, but
hmm
that's the obvious card to be played if that's what happens.
yeah,
So, yeah.
yeah. We'll see. Um, with that, I think we're going to wrap it up. It's good to be back. We
Mhm.
will do this more often for sure.
Yeah, we'll be back
As the
every week.
season, yeah, as the season gets rolling.
Mhm.
Um, you know, and well, it's already rolling. But with that, any final words?
Not really, no. Just kind of looking forward to the game this weekend and just to the listeners that will be back regularly every week and just pay attention to our socials, send in any questions. We will be taking guests again this year. Yeah, just keep it out for the socials and feel free to send in any questions or things that you'd like to hear us talk about.
Cool beans. We'll catch you next time. Ciao.
See you guys.